Your Highness, how tall and how wide do you plan to build this city wall? Karl asked. At least 5 meters high, 2 meters wide, and allowing 4 people to march forward side by side. Roland subtly acknowledged that Karl was indeed a professional, first asking about the technical data and then confirming the construction plan. Then a trench needs to be dug that's about 1 man's height in order to stabilize the upper portion of the city wall. Also, if the top of the wall is about 2 meters wide and the wall is about 5 meters tall, the width of the lower portion of the wall at least needs to be doubled. Karl promptly replied, the process of trenching will need huge manpower. Your Highness, if you could provide me with 150 people, I could probably finish the trench before the months of demons. A gateway could not possibly block the demonic beasts, Roland said noncommittally. That's why, it'll take 3 years if the upper portion of the city wall is masoned with stones. If it's solely for the purpose of blocking the demonic beasts, then there's no need to build the wall to such a great height. About 4 meters high would be enough. We can also shrink the width by 1/3 and the bottom to about 2 meters. Digging trenches and masonry will proceed simultaneously. Increase the number of workers by 200. That way, I can complete it before next year's months of demons. Karl paused, and then continued, pardon me in my frankness, Your Highness, now it's not a good time to undertake the construction. If we don't mason the wall in a timely manner, even if the trench is dug, but after soaking by the rain and snow through the entire winter, it'll lose its original functions. That way, it'll cost more time and manpower to clean and soften the trench, causing the trench to be dug even deeper. Assuming we adopt your plan, and build the city wall 4 meters high and 2 meters wide, how long will it take to complete the trench? It'll most likely take 1.5 months, Karl answered. Then let's take this plan. Digging the trench and masonry will proceed simultaneously so that the construction is completed before the months of demons. Roland waved his hand and interrupted Karl. I know your concerns. Look at this first, a new product from the alchemical workshop of Greycastle. He, of course, did not have time to once again stick the bricks together to show the stonemason. He simply presented the 2 bricks that he stuck together beforehand. Fortunately, no one dared to question the prince. When Karl heard that an alchemic adhesive, called cement, was able to solidify within 1 night and produce massive adhesive force, he looked astonished. Karl, as someone who devoted half of his life to the Mason Guild, naturally recognized how groundbreaking this invention was. Besides adhering stones, most importantly, it would be able to transform into any shape. Roland judged Karl's expression with satisfaction, and pursued again. What do you think? Would 3 months be enough? Karl Van Bape replied with a trembling voice, if what you said is true, no, I mean, if the alchemical workshop described this thing truthfully, I'm willing to give it a try. Very well, I'll have someone write a detailed document for you regarding the usage of cement. You can speak to my assistant minister for any other needs. Roland smiled. Mr. Karl, now you're a member of the administrative office. Roland saw Anna in the next afternoon. The young girl stared at Anna with some degree of bewilderment. She clutched her clothes and was finally able to compose a sentence. Have I already died? When Roland first met Nan, he had to admit that the power of witches not only bestowed them incredible abilities, but also in some degrees, changed their countenance and aura. Nana was a totally different type compared to Anne, but they all had their unique charm. Such feelings had nothing to do with age or lifestyles. Even when Anna was waiting for the coming death in prison, the brilliance that was illuminating from her was not affected at all. Searching through all his memory, Roland did not even encounter this sort of feelings, whether it was the hooker on the streets of Kingdom of Greycastle or the well-mannered noble mistress. If Roland had to describe it, When he placed witches with those ordinary girls on the same page, it was as if colorful figures appeared on black and white photos. Carl, who escorted Nan, gracefully excused himself. Now there were only Roland, Anna and Nana left in the palace garden. "You're alive, and Anna is here, safe and sound." Roland tried to suppress his smiles. "I'm Prince Roland Wimbledon, and you're?" "I'm Nana Pine." The young girl was back to her usual lively self after she heard that she did not die. Nana rushed straight to Anne, rambling on and on with her, and completely neglected the presence of Roland, the Prince of Greycastle. Certainly, Roland would not care to haggle over the impudence of a 14-year-old young girl. He poured himself a glass of ale and started to appreciate the daily life of the two witches. Anna was apparently not accustomed to the overwhelming friendliness from Nana. She occasionally responded while Nana continued her speech. After all, Anna was merely 17 years old, but she already appeared to be an elder sister. Roland could not help but think how outstanding Anna would become after she became fully grown up. When Nana finally slowed her speech, Roland coughed and inquired, "Miss Pine, according to your professor, you have awakened as a witch?" Compared to the public, who most often referred to the word fallen when describing someone that had turned into a witch, Roland believed that awaken was a better word choice. He would not naively consider all witches as innocent and pure. Those malicious individuals who obtained power would only beget a catastrophe. This was the same as using a weapon, as it can create violence, but also resist violence. The essential aspect was that it all depended on the person who was using the weapon. Perhaps the Church's propaganda of the massacres done by witches was based on evidence. However, it was unfair to use that as the proof to treat all witches as guilty. Nana's expression stiffened and she mumbled in a soft voice, "Are you going to hang me?" "No, of course not. Those individuals who were sent to the gallows were all heinous and despicable villains. You're not one of those, nor is Miss Anna. So don't concern yourself with that." Nana took a deep breath and nodded. "I'm not sure. Professor said that witches obtain the demonic power after being lured by the demon. But I have never seen any demon." "When did you find out that you've become different?" "About a week ago," Nana muttered. "I saw a bird with a broken leg. I really wanted to help it. Then I felt something come out of my hands." "What came out of your hands?" Roland questioned. "What happened next?" All of a sudden, it surrounded the little bird like a mass of sticky liquid." Nana tilted her head and recalled. "Then the bird's leg was healed. Is her power the healing type?" Roland's heart missed a beat. He was very clear what this kind of power meant. In the days where there was an absence of antibiotics and the lack of advanced medical technology, people died easily from injuries and infections. Although this power might not work to promote the development of civilization, it was meaningful to every individual human. Roland immediately walked to the door and demanded the knight to bring a living hen. If he could prove the credibility of her words, perhaps he could change the situation of witches being mercilessly oppressed in Border Town.